The original A-Class was a genuinely pioneering car, albeit one that didn't exactly help Mercedes attract a younger audience. To address this, Mercedes adopted a much more conventional style for the A-Class of 2012, and it worked too, because despite some mixed reviews, us included, it sold really well. It's actually reduced the average age of the A-Class buyer by 13 years too. They're now only 78. Anyway, 4 years later, it's time for this midlife refresh. So on the outside, there's new lights, front and rear, along with, actually that's about it. No, wait, it's not, the badge. How could we forget the badge? You see, old models used to be CDI, now they're just D. Radical stuff, eh? Space on the inside hasn't changed either, meaning that the boot is slightly smaller than you get in a BMW 1 Series or Audi A3, and with a rather narrow opening too. In the back, first thing you notice is that these rear doors are quite small, so it's not as easy to get in and out as some of its rivals. Also, this window line really cuts in here, so it can feel a bit claustrophobic. Having said that, legroom isn't too bad. I can just about get my feet under the seat in front as well. Headroom's okay, and you can just about squeeze 3 across. This middle seat's quite narrow, but you'd expect that in a car of this size, and there is this big transmission tunnel in the floor to straddle. If you're regularly going to be carrying adults in the back, an Audi A3 Sportback is a bit bigger, but there's not a huge amount in it. While the dash might look the same as before, Mercedes has made some small improvements to materials, as well as updating the dials. This tablet-style screen has been upgraded, so it's now up to 8 inches in size and has a sharper display, although it's still a bit thick and plasticky. Storage is good, decent glove box, really nice big compartment there, you can store a bottle, plus all A-classes get under-seat storage where Rebecca would no doubt put a banana. Plus you get the steering wheel from the C-Class, which is all very good in terms of it looks nice and it's nice to hold, but I do wish they wouldn't put the OK button right up in this corner. Instead it'd be much better in the middle. So far the changes have all been fairly minor, and it's the same when it comes to the engines. Take this 220D model, which has a grand total of 7 more horsepower than before, taking the total to 175. To be fair, it is a fairly brisk engine, although it does get noisy when you accelerate. Also, it says it does 70 miles per gallon in official fuel tests, but we've been getting about 40, although it should be noted that this car's got four-wheel drive, which knocks about 10 miles per gallon from the total. It's also fitted with Merc's 7-speed automatic gearbox, which for the most part does a fine job of blending into the background, although the manual mode can be sluggish. New for the facelifted A-Class is this dynamic select switch, which allows you to change between comfort, sport, individual and eco modes, thereby adjusting throttle response, steering weight, and if you've got the automatic gearbox, the gear shift points. It does work too, you can really feel the difference in sport mode, particularly the A-Class is a lot sharper to drive, although it's still not a match dynamically for a BMW 1 Series. In theory, Dynamic Select also lets you change the other major new feature of the A-Class, the adaptive dampers, which are now an option on higher spec models. Unfortunately, they're not fitted to today's test car, which instead uses lowered comfort suspension and 18-inch wheels. It should be said though that it rides a lot better than the CLA shooting brake that we tested on these same roads recently, particularly in terms of low speed compliance. So while it's no miniature S-Class or even an Audi A3 for that matter, it's not bad at all for this kind of car. Less impressive is how much wind, road and engine noise the A-Class suffers from. On the motorway, it's just not as relaxing to drive as its rivals. If all that appeals, then the good news is that while prices have increased by about £300, you do get a lot more equipment as standard, such as a reversing camera, leather-like material for the seats and more safety kit. This includes a safety alert device that makes sure you're paying attention between 37 and 124 miles an hour. Although, frankly, I think it'd be pretty hard not to pay attention doing 120 miles an hour in an A-Class. Mercedes has an excellent reliability record these days too, so the A-Class should be painless to run, and being a Mercedes, it will hold on to its value better than average. There's no doubt that this new A-Class is an improvement on the pre-facelift model, and that it will continue to attract new and younger buyers to the brand. However, it's still not as good to drive as a BMW 1 Series or as comfortable as an Audi A3, and it's not as spacious as either of them. Better? Yes. The best? Not quite. To subscribe to the Telegraph Cars YouTube channel, you'll be wanting to click up here, and to read detailed reviews of all the latest cars on sale at the Telegraph Cars website, click up here.